informed because information changes and your clients will follow you. It's not like they're going to follow anything else. They hired you to give leadership. And green is the only way that I know how. Whether or not you extol all the virtues or you just provide great design that is green, however you need to present it and make it happen, that's really your responsibility. And we all need to embrace that responsibility.
Very true. Last thing I'd like to ask, because we want to know what is green, is there a certification or certifications that you guys feel, panelists and audience alike, really matter, or one that you'd like to just discuss because you guys have questions if it matters? Because everyone now is going green. People are finding excuses why their garbage is green, why their supposedly recycled materials are green, and there's really not an easy way to tell what actually is green. It's become tough to sort the claims. Patty, I'd like you to start maybe, if you have the certification system you work with, or some of the things that are happening in California right now.
You always want to go with a third-party certification, somebody who's being challenged with their claim. So FSC, the Forest Stewardship Council, very good forest certification system. Green Guard is a third-party certified for emissions. There are a lot of them out there, but in my opinion, if it's not inspected and tested and there's not a standard of other rules put together by third-party certifiers, you can't trust what they're saying unless somebody's watching them over their shoulder.
Okay, people are not going to like what I'm going to say. I'm just going to say that right up front. I was at a trade show and looked at various products that were quote-unquote Green Guard. Okay, first let me introduce myself. I'm lead AP. I passed the exam, which is Leadership in Energy and Environmental Development. Accredited professional. I'm also a professional ASID. I went for all of these credentials because I believed in the structure. I tried to specify Green Guard, FSC, and then to my horror, I got to see some of the products that had Green Guard certification, some of the products that had, not FSC, but some of the other testings of manufactured goods. And I was hearing stories, and I got so freaked out because people were just paying 40 grand to say, okay, I'm okay. So how does one protect oneself when one hears these stories? I can't dismiss them. And I don't know, as a designer, as this person of integrity who really believes in what I do, how does one know the difference? I remember this is like many years ago, I spoke at National, and one of the people at National ASID Conference on Green Design, this was many years ago before it was really, really informative and had some background. And they pulled me aside and said, Laura, please don't tell them that it's more expensive. And I looked at them, I said, I have to tell them that it's more expensive. It's dishonest. People don't care about amortization. They want to know what's up front. So at that time, green was 15% higher. Now it's almost nominal. Time did change. But it's the same thing. It's like you must be upfront, you must check your resources, you must check to see what those manufactured, even if they're Green Guard, it's the first step. But take the extra step. Look into the company, see how they're producing, see how it's being shipped, see how it's being handled for yourself. Because unfortunately, money is still present. And I was just at this conference. I would love to be talked down on this. I would love to have someone come back to me and says, Laura, you're really off the wall. However, I spoke to too many people at this last conference at this the HD show just recently, and I was just it burst a bubble inside of me of trust. So the question is, how do you trust even the organizations? And that's doing your own homework and getting to understand what people are doing.
Except for FSC, no certification is really worth its salt yet. There's some things that are good, there's some things that are bad, but none of them replace your eye, ear, and brain. For any product you use, you ask 5 questions. Where does it come from? What are the byproducts of its manufacture? How healthy is it? What do we do with it when we're done with it? And what's the 5th one? Yeah. And how is the company run? But we need to still ask questions, and a lot of these companies are hiding behind these certifications when in fact, you know, they're companies that their product doesn't off-gas anyway, and they're still getting Green Guard certified saying we don't off-gas. Well, none of your competitors off-gas. So congratulations on getting a worthless, moot certification. That's all I have to say about it.
Thanks. That's a question I deal with as a manufacturer quite often. People say, get my certification, and a lot of them, I look at them as businesses, and while a lot of them are valuable, and I know my customers are asking for a third-party certification, but how many of them are trading a check for a certification? And I even have to check the certifiers to see who's really good. So I think the message there is, do your own research, most importantly. What he just asked is, if something qualifies for LEED credits, is it necessarily green? And that's a very loaded question, which could be a whole other night of discussion. LEED is not the definitive answer for what is green. They've done what I think, in my personal opinion, and I want to make sure it's my personal opinion, is that they've created a great starting point for discussion. It's a great place for you to look at a product, and they've set a minimum standard of what is green, and you can look at that and take it from there and continue to do your own research. Do you guys agree with that? I mean, I want to wrap it up because I think everyone's getting a little hot, but that's the way I feel about it. LEED is a great spot to begin discussing green, and without LEED we wouldn't be have a benchmark for green. Okay. Hey, I'd like to thank everyone for staying, for talking. I'd like to thank our panel. This was excellent. I look forward to doing this again. You guys are all welcome.